My name's Trevor Joseph, you're watching Rolling Slow Media, and this is Chris's Porsche 356 Outlaw Replica. Nice, got it. Woo, that was a mouthful. Thank you so much for coming on the channel.
Thank you, Trevor.
And bringing this Porsche 356 Outlaw Replica, which I have never ever heard of before. So I have a bag of questions to ask you because I know nothing about this car. My sort of Porsche knowledge goes about as far as the 964, and anything beyond that, like, I'm a noob. So today is going to be like school for me. So please, from the beginning, what is an Outlaw Replica?
Okay. so the car is, as you say, is a replica. It's based on a Porsche 356 1959 model.
Right.
What makes it an Outlaw is that it's not completely original. So any kind of racing changes, like the pod mirrors.
Yeah.
I've added the sunroof. It's got a center through fuel filler. Hundreds of other details to it, but it is based on a 1959 356.
I've never seen this before, and it's absolutely stunning. So did you build this yourself?
With a friend who, I must admit, did most of the work. He's fully hands-on with all of that, but it's built to the vision that I had from the beginning. Whilst it's based on that, it's significantly better than an original would be, with bigger engine, bigger brakes. There's not a lot of steering aid, so when I first got it out on the road last year, it was almost like learning to drive all over again when you're used to a modern car. But I built it to drive it. It's not a show car, so it's built for a lot of fun and to probably do some hill climbing in.
How long did it take to build?
About 6 years, but a lot of that was due to COVID and also trying to source original 356 parts, which are like hen's teeth, things like the umbrella, under dash handbrake, all of those parts, trying to find those.
I guess you're a Porsche enthusiast because you wouldn't just wake up one day and decide, right, I'm going to build a 356.
No.
So, like, what's your car history like? What was your journey up to the point where you decided you wanted to build this replica?
I've always been a car guy. So, since I started driving, you name it, I've had it, from Audis, BMWs, Mercedes. My very first Porsche was a 964 Carrera 4 Cabriolet back in the 90s, and which I wish I'd kept now. But I've always wanted a 356. Original ones, that are really good condition, they're 6 figures plus. They're super expensive. And not just that, driving it around, you're not going to be parking that at Tesco, things like that, or racing it particularly. So this seemed like a really good option, and we just built it up over time.
Right. What's the chassis then?
So the original donor car would have been a 1973 VW Beetle. But it's
still a classic,
it's a classic in its own right, yes. But the only part of that remains is a very little bit of the center tunnel from the original car, and that's it. And then the body and the rest of the chassis came from Speedster Clinic, who produced the bodies.
Is this fiberglass?
It's all fiberglass. We added the sunroof. That doesn't come as part of the kit, and I actually had to buy a whole Beetle just to get the sunroof, and that took a lot of time for my friend Richard to fit that.
You started off with the Volkswagen Beetle and attached this body. What was the process? I mean, does this come like in a box?
The body is one piece, bar the lid, the doors, and the bonnet. So it's all one kit that comes out of the mold. It's then bonded onto the chassis. to give you the car itself, and then you just start attaching everything to it.
And because it's based on the Beetle, I'm assuming the engine is from the Beetle as well, right?
It is a Beetle, so it's a Type 1 engine, but with Porsche cooling, 44 dual Webers. So it's a very big 2.3 litre engine, which really pushes the car because it's very, very lightweight. So it's very quick off the mark.
Do you know sort of power and torque figures?
Well, we put it on the rolling road, but the tester didn't want to take it up as far as it could go because it's quite a new engine. And it was about 130, 140 horsepower, which is not bad in very lightweight, but he said it could go a lot further. So we'll probably put it on the rolling road again next year. Now it's kind of had a bit of time to bed in.
And so when did you finish the build, or how long has it been on the road since the build was finished?
So it came on the road October last year. We took it down to Box and Gas, and that was the first time it was at a show. But since then, I drive it every other day, really. Right.
I was going to ask you, is this your daily?
It's not my daily.
You could daily this though. It's
I could.
Much a brand new car.
I mean, I drive it a lot. You know, I've done several thousand miles in it this year. But it is based on a 50s car. You know, things like the turning circle are absolutely abysmal. Getting it around a car park is really tight. And even just turning it around here, you know, it's more of a 6-point turn. But backcountry roads, you really can't beat it for driving around in it.
This must turn heads when you're driving down the street. Because also this colour, like, can you explain to me, is this a wrap or is this an actual...
No, everyone always asks about the colour because originally the car was going to be the blue that's the engine painted. But when the car was finished last year, I had to book a slot for painting, and it was a bit far in the future. So I said that I wanted to just paint it in something so I could drive it for the year. And I said to my friend Richard, let's just put it in primer. And he gave me 4 choices: grey, red, yellow, and one other. And I said yellow for a joke. And 24 cans of rattle paint later, which is all it is, Halford's primer.
Wow.
He painted it, given it a coat of lacquer. And it was due to get painted again this Christmas. But over the year, everyone has just said, just leave it as it is.
It is amazing.
People seem to like it. So yeah, I'm keeping it as it is for the time being.
How much would you say this is worth if you were to sell it? I know it's quite a personal question, but if someone was willing to buy this, how much do you reckon it would fetch?
If my wife asked me, it cost me 15 grand to build it. The truth of it is
don't worry, she's not watching.
She's never going to see this. The truth of it is, we kind of stopped counting after 70 grand. So it's not going to be far off 6 figures. I would never sell it. So I'm not, you know, that was never on my mind. I put the money into it and to enjoy it till I die.
Chris, it's an amazing car. I feel like my Porsche knowledge has leveled up a little bit more. But yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to explain to me this car. I want one, but I don't have 6 figures.
They're not cheap.
No, but no, it's such a great project.
Thank you.
I think, I would love to see more projects like this with, you know, like a Beetle chassis and, you know, Porsche replica bodies. I think this looks so cool. Oh, Chris, thank you so much.
That's right. Thank you, Trevor.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Cheers. Guys, we've reached the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it today. Big thanks to Chris for allowing me to film his beautiful 356 Outlaw replica. Such a lovely car. Anyway, take care guys, I will see you in the next video, and if you haven't subscribed already, don't forget to subscribe. Until the next one, I'll see you then. Peace.